My name is Bob Fickle. I'm the landfill manager for the city of Kingsport, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the landfill and the hay and compost and topsoil. Believe it or not, right here behind me you see the big grassy areas. That is actually landfill space that has been currently filled to capacity and has the topsoil as a final layer and grass seed and a different mixture of seed actually to get that nice green look to it. But this whole area, I think around 21 acres, is all landfill space that's been filled up. A lot of people don't think it looks like a landfill. I get a lot of compliments on how good our landfill does look up here. But believe it or not, it is all landfilled area. This is some of the areas that we bale for the hay that you see here to the right of me. We have about 220 or 30 bales in this location and have 100 some bales at another location in the landfill. All right, we're standing here now at the compost pile, and this is actually collected leaves that the city collects in the fall all over the city of Kingsport. It runs roughly from 16, 17, 1,800 ton per year, depending on the amount of rainfall we get. But it is all trucked up. The leaf trucks that you see running through your neighborhoods with the big vacuum machines on the back, they fill all those trucks up, and they come across the scales or weighed in, and they're brought directly up here. And the stuff you see behind me is, some of it is between 7. I guess the oldest stuff we have up here currently is probably about 8 years old. This pile behind me here has probably been hauled in since 99, 2000, all the way up to last year's leaves. And we have a pile currently over the other side over here that's last year's leaves if we want to see the difference in the makeup, how the stuff breaks down. But this is about 6 years worth of leaves from areas all over Kingsport. We have a pile of topsoil which we mix with this stuff to create that vegetative cover you've seen earlier, all the green grass. This material is what we use to spread on to get the grass to come up. We have an area over here that's mixed compost and topsoil together, and we do also add wood chips to it before we started selling the wood chips to Domtar. But years ago, you'd have a tree go down across the city right away. They'd bring their chipper out and chip it up, and we would just add it to our compost piles here as a bulking agent, and it works good for that. It's organic like the leaves, and it does help with the aerobic and anaerobic, which is oxygen with oxygen, without oxygen process in the compost. We also use this stuff areas out where some of our city trucks, some of the different departments, you see a place where they've had to dig with a backhoe and maybe had to take the grass out. It's used in flower beds. It's also used in the right-of-way. A lot of the mediums you see down the Eastman Road in towards Stone Drive, the trees, that's planted in the middle. This has been backfilled and used with the compost from the landfill. Also on Memorial Boulevard, the trees that you see planted through the medium strip there has been backfilled with this type of material that we get from the landfill. And it's used several spots all over the city. And it saves the city money as far as topsoil bills, because it is equally impressive to use this stuff as it is the topsoil. And like I say, we do save money, and you get the same product, the same growing experience with it as far as using pure topsoil. But we do mix a lot of topsoil together with this stuff as a soil amendment and even create a better product. And we're going to move on over to the other site, which has our other pile of our bales of hay and our grinding facility where we grind all of our chips up. And also to the left, to the right of me here, the clay area that you see here, a lot of people do ask me about that. That's where we currently stockpile all of our clay that is trucked into the landfill. We have no clay on site, it's all shell material. So we bid that out to a local contractor, and they have to find a suitable borrow pit, which test out with the specifications that the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation have on our permit. It has to test out to a certain specification, and all the trucks, when it comes in up here, stockpile all of it over here on to the right of me, the big clay bare spot that you see. That's where our stockpiled clay is put. My name is Bob Fickle. I'm the landfill manager for the city of Kingsport, and I manage the landfill operations up here at the city day to day. And behind me here you see the tub grinder, which we grind all the route-based brush that's collected throughout the city. The trucks bring it up here, and we sort through it and try to get the bags of grass and some metal and stuff that we actually cannot grind that will it's detrimental to the brush grinding operation. But we do separate all that out, and eventually it makes its way to the tub grinder, and we grind somewhere between 20 and 22 tons per hour. We get on the average of about 4 chip trailers, which the big trailer is gone right now, but we will have it back here shortly. But it holds about 20 to 22 tons of brush chips, and there are also, we sell that to Domtar Warehouser, the old Warehouser, as boiler fuel down on Industry Drive. If anyone noticed the big wood chip piles down there, part of that stuff has came from the city of Kingsport's demolition landfill. It takes about an hour to grind a load, and like I said earlier, it's about 20 tons. It'll grind between 20 and 25 tons per hour, depending on the size of the brush. The smaller stuff, it'll grind a whole lot faster, and the larger logs, it takes a little more time to grind those up. But it is a mixture of all the different kinds of trees and wood, pallets, any kind of wood-based products, some plywood. We do try to separate the salt-treated lumber and any kind of lumber that has paint on it when we take it back to the landfill. But that's pretty much the grinding operation. And we do also bale the hay as a form of recycling up here. We've got about 27 acres of area that's been currently filled and to the capacity, and we use our compost that we make up here from leaf collection, which is another form of recycling. We bring it up to the landfill each year, and we will wet it with a flusher, which cleans your streets, the big water truck. Mother Nature helps us out some with rain and snowfall to help facilitate the decomposition phase. But we use the compost up here as mixed with topsoil as a final cover for the landfill. And hopefully we'll get some pictures of the real grassy areas on some of these valleys and knolls, and you can see the type of grass that's grown from this material. And then we in turn bale that. We used to bush hog it years ago back into the earth, which is was very time consuming, and we now bale all that and sell the round bales of hay. They're 4x4 bales. We put it out to bid through the city departments, and it's run in the Kingsport Times News, and we have different individuals bid on the hay bales. Currently we've got 349 bales that's on the block to be sold in 4 different tracks. There are 100 bales per track, 100, 100, and 100, and then 49 in another. And hopefully we will get a second cutting sometime later, maybe in about 3 to 4 weeks, which is a form of recycling, and we are actually getting some money for it. We also bale appliances. It's open to any city resident and any county resident. We have a pile back here located in the area off Idlauer that we recycle all appliances, any kind of white goods, freezers, refrigerators, washer dryers, air conditioners, any kind of ferrous metals. I have a company come out of Louisville, Kentucky, and they have a portable baler, and they square bale all that stuff up for us, and it's sold to a local metals facility in Elizabethton. And we also, we're getting money out of that, and it's helped with some of the illegal dumping areas you see in the city and in the county. Wash and dryers laying off the side of the road. We now can collect all that stuff up. Our trash trucks collect some of it, and we go through it up here, separate it, for any trash or materials that's not supposed to be in with it. We do help the company that bales them. We bring our track loader up and keep it pushed up to him, and they also go through the whole pile before we actually start the baling process. They take out all the Freon gas out of each appliance that uses that stuff in the operation, like a refrigerator, freezer, air conditioners, and we have a paper trail on it that we get from the particular company that does this for us. That way, the state or anybody else can ask for any paperwork, and we can track every refrigerator, freezer, air conditioner that has Freon in it. It's got the model number, the serial number, and the make and model of the particular appliance. And we have a good paper trail on it as far as the environmental side of it. And that's money also in the city's pocket that we recycle that stuff. So we've got the hay, the wood chips, and the appliance pile, where in years past, we didn't get anything for it. We used to burn all the brush several years ago with an air curtain destructor burner that we had here, which we've recently torn down when we bought the tub grinder. But we burn all the brush up and put the fly ash, the residue left from the brush, back into the landfill. And now we're actually getting money for it. The appliance, the same thing. Years ago, we didn't have no way of dealing with any of this stuff. A lot of it was taken to the county transfer station, but now we can currently, recycle a lot of stuff up here at the landfill. The appliance, the bales of hay, and the wood chips. And I am currently working on a way to hopefully find a market for our tires. That is a process in the making. I've been working on it for several years, trying to find somewhere fairly local that we can use our tires that are collected throughout the city and the county, and the tires that's on all the city vehicles, which is through fleet maintenance. But I go to a couple of 3 conferences a year. And I'm going to one big one down in Tampa in October, which we have a lot of technical sessions and a lot of training sessions, and talk to a lot of people throughout the United States. And you make a lot of contacts and pick up a lot of valuable information. And hopefully we can get something started with our tires. That's been a big issue with me for several years. We currently just cut them. We've got 2 tire splitters. One splits them in half as they roll on your car, and then we have another that cuts them in quarter pieces, and we haul those directly back into the landfill, which you cannot get any compaction on rubber. It's just like a big sponge. You can walk it with the big dozer we have over here, which weighs somewhere around 51, 52 tons, and then you walk back off of it, and it just comes right back up. So hopefully somewhere in the next year to 2 years that we can get some kind of program, and I can find something that we can actually sell, our tires, and get some money out of that, and that would be a big asset to the city and to the environment. A form of recycling that we do when the city contracts street paving out, and even our own city crews, you'll see the big machines out grinding the old asphalt up, and we have been doing this for several years, but we'll make a deal with the contractor through the city, and let them bring all the old ground up asphalt up here, and we will stockpile it and use it as a base for all the traffic to run on in the landfill. And it saves a lot on our rock bill. We spend several $1,000s a year, depending on if it's a wet season or a dry season. But for the trucks, all the haul roads in the landfill have the old milling on it. We'll truck it in, or have the contractors truck it in, then we'll pan it up or haul in our own trucks and spread it out on the roads, and take some of the heavy equipment we got up here and crunch it up, which there are some bigger pieces in it, but we'll walk it in with the dozers and the loaders and spread it all over the city. And actually there's some here behind me and to the side. You can see, of course, we've got dirt mixed over the top of it, but it does serve as a good base and saves on a rock bill. But it is used on our haul roads all over the city. The city demolition landfill out toward the Pistol Range. There's some's been put out through there, but it's a form of recycling, and also saves on the rock bill at the end of the year for the city of Kingsport.